Hello, hello, hello. I'm just finishing getting set up here. I think we're good. Sound is good. Yes. Welcome. Let me maybe adjust the camera a little bit. Yeah, like that. Oh, and welcome to another edition of Tales from the Interface Live. My name is Emmanuel and I am the host of this little show. I do that every Saturday at 9. At least I try to. Well, what I do is that I just go around and show you a little bit how I work on my comic, Tales from the Interface. It's a, if you don't know about it, it's a sci-fi comic that you can read online or you can purchase. And it's updated every Wednesday. Although currently it's on hiatus because I am working on these pages here. So, without further ado, I will continue working on this page. Before I do, if you can take a moment and like and subscribe to the channel, it would help me a lot to continue making those videos. I am always open to any comment or anything you have to say, so please feel free to say anything and I'll be happy to answer. So that the live chat is on, so yeah, just feel free to say anything. So the panel I'm working on now is fairly advanced. Just to take you back a little bit. This is this panel here. So I started off by making a perspective grid. It's a 3-point perspective grid, so that means that we are seeing the action from top or bottom. In this case, it's top, and you can see the lines here. The purple lines are like the grid of the page itself. I've said that many times, but Clip Paint Studio does a marvelous job in helping you lay out these kind of panels, these kind of perspective grids. I really enjoy using it. Let me grab my coffee. Oh yeah. A little different this morning. I have soya milk in my coffee because we ran out of milk. I'm not a huge fan of soya milk personally, but yeah, why not? Sometimes. Okay, I don't need my perspective grids anymore because I kind of laid it out as I wanted. Although I will always keep it in case that I need to add some objects or something else later on. So for now, I just hide it. And I as you see, I roughly put my characters in place. I'm very much at a point where I'm starting to finish the inking. As you can see in the background, you see I don't name my layer, so it's kind of a mess. But as you can see, I did the shelves already. And now I just want to work on those characters. So I'm gonna actually name my layer this time so I know which one is the shelves. I don't need this one anymore. This is just this I don't need this also. Okay, character. Oh, there's some shelf. Book shelves. You can put it to the background. Okay, that's cleaner. Let me lower opacity on this. And the bookshelf, I really don't need to see them. I'm just gonna put them very light, just to get an idea where they are. Give me a minute. Yeah, my heater is in the room right beside us, so when the door is open, it can become a bit loud. All right. So these are two women. At the moment, they kind of look like men because the shoulders are a bit large. So I'm gonna try to make them a little bit more feminine. Was not really happy how that turned out. Should be. This one actually should probably be like this. Yeah, that's why it looked off. Yeah, it's not easy. Okay, let me see. I think I'm trying to mimic the movement as I draw. Try to get the sense of a walk, natural walk. And then so I was looking at the analytics of these videos, trying to see you know, what works, what doesn't work, what people like. And I got a pretty good result from another drawing I did of an apocalyptic lady. So I was thinking maybe the Saturday morning I should just do a random drawing. It might be more interesting for people. I don't know. I don't know how much. I think because I've been doing the pages here, I thought that you know, might be later on when I actually publish those pages, people might be interested in how I made them. So just want to kind of record the process. But I really, you know, my goal here is really to make interesting content, and you know, I'm always wondering if I'm doing the best for that purpose. So I'm wondering if it's would be more interesting for people to draw like random things rather than pages all the time. So I think for a lot of people these can be a little boring. because it's comic is something that takes a long time to do. And also when the time lapse I did of that drawing worked a lot better than the actual live video of it. So I do like to do these lives. So if people want, they can come in and ask any question they want. But I think the speeds also answer a need of some people, and they seem to work a lot better. So I'm still wondering about that. I haven't really come to any conclusion about it. Oh, okay. One. Yeah, looking pretty good. On to the third character here. Good. Having a large pencil like that, it's not very precise, but somehow it helps to get a sense of the shape more than if you were trying to use a super fine pencil. Anyway, that's how I learned to draw, so it makes sense to me. So this weekend is Toy Fair. I don't know if you know about it. I'm a big fan of toys in general, and I always enjoy seeing what they reveal in Toy Fair. And I don't know. Since it's my show, I'm gonna talk about whatever I want, right? Yeah, so they revealed a new line of G.I. Joe action figures, which is pretty cool. We haven't seen any new figures for G.I. Joe in quite a while, and they've been, what they decided to do was outsource. Is that really the word? Well, they gave the license to Jazzware, which is a company that makes the Fortnite figures. Very cool figures. I mean, they are doing a great job there. So I think it will probably be. Well, I saw the figures and they look really good. So they will be really good figures. Although I find it's a little strange that they chose the 6-inch format for some reason. Well, if you've ever handled a G.I. Joe as a kid, you'll know they're about 4 inches high. So these guys will be quite a bit higher. Yeah, so I probably won't go for any of them because honestly I've indulged way too much already. My house is full. So but I do enjoy looking at them. Hopefully I can handle them one day as well. I would like to try to see the build and how they're made. Maybe they're actually extremely posable, so it might be an idea to get just one as a reference, like a posing character. Yeah, so I use my my Kinnikuman. I'll show it to you. It's pretty cool. So I don't know if you can see well, but this is Kinnikuman. Trying to see if you can see in the camera here. Yep. Hello. I am Kinnikuman. Kinnikuman is really cool. He's a wrestler, and well, as you can saw, that's why he's half naked. Yeah, so his name means like meat man or something like that. I read a little bit of manga. It was like some wrestling shenanigans. I read a little bit of the translated version, so I don't know much about it. But what I do know, what's fun about it, is that we actually add the toys in here in Canada, in Quebec. It's and it were the Muscle Man. So Muscle Man was actually Kinnikuman. We just never got the anime or the toy or the manga, which just sucks. I mean, it's really pretty funny, and I know a lot of kids my age loved wrestling, so I'm sure that it would have been a popular show for sure. So yeah, so that figure is made from the Microman built, and it's extremely posable, so it's really nice. So I use it a lot when I try to make poses, and plus he's naked, so so you can see better the body structure and things like that. Like it's good to get like superhero style characters for this. You see more the body build. What's less nice about it is that he's maybe he may be a little bit too muscular. Yeah. So sometimes it's you don't get quite the right proportion, but it gives you a pretty fairly good idea where to draw your lines and everything. So yeah, buy action figures. They are great for drawing, and they don't cost as much as those fancy posing figures that they sell. You don't need that. A good action figure is all you need. Beside that, what other thing? They will also revealed a new line of the Transformers toys, which I always enjoy, and yeah, and what I thought was pretty cool, they announced a new double dealer, and it's a toy I always really admired, but I don't think the new version will be as interesting, because the original toy was really a master of gimmicks. There were so many gimmicks inside. So the new toy does follow the visual part of it. So visually, it looks really good. It looks really like the toy should look, I think. But I don't think it's gonna have all the gadgets and gimmicks that the original one had that made it so interesting. So let me tell you about that. So the original double dealer, or double clouder, I think sometimes he's called, he was a power master, but not any kind of power master. He was like a double power master. So, and what is the power master? So power master is a robot that uses an engine made out of a human who became an engine, and somehow the power of the human powers the robot. Somehow, don't ask too many questions. But anyway, in the case of Double Dealer, he is a double power master. So that means that he has actually two engines. And what in the toys, what the power master did was unlock the transformation. And what's really special about double clouder is that depending on which, because he's a double power master, right? So depending on which double power master you put in, there's an evil one and then there's a good one. So if you put the good one into the tank mode, he will become a evil Decepticon. If you put the good one, he will become a good Autobot. So the alt form for the Autobot is a robot, pretty standard robot with a huge cannon. Nothing, no, not so special, honestly. He is cool. But the Decepticon, and they're always my favorite, so I'm kind of sold out on that, is a kind of giant chicken vulture, which looks pretty awesome, I have to say. And that new toy does a very, very, very good job of that vulture. I mean, it looks pretty much like the original, and I can't wait to see some comparison photo or see it more closely, because all I've seen is some picture on Twitter. Some people are sharing them. I don't think they actually revealed it yet. I think they're gonna have some event around 1:30 today. So I'm looking forward to that. It looks like it's gonna be an interesting toy. Other than that, it seems like we're gonna get the first actually good RC in the Generation line. They've been trying to make her many times, and it's always been a little bit weird. I get it. I mean, robot, they do, fit the male body shape better than the female body shape. So yeah, so it's always been a challenge to do someone like RC, which is if you don't know, she's the first female character transformer. So they've been trying to make her many times and always failing, but I think this time they pretty much nailed her. In the generation line, they also made a masterpiece, which is the high-end version of Transformers toys. And actually, the cheaper version, to me, looks better than the fancy version. I'm sure the fancy version will have like better materials and stuff like that, but purely visual, from what I've seen, she looks better as the generation toy. So that's pretty interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing her in real life. I think she looks really great. So what they did basically is something called a panel forming or parts forming. It's like basically she's folded inside her car mode. Yeah, just reading some comments on Twitter. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing her in action. Another great reveal was Scorponok, a favorite character of mine, and he looks awesome. He looks really good, and I thought he would be using a lot of the parts of Omega Supreme that came out before, but he actually is pretty unique, I feel, which is nice. And I don't really have any more space for Titans in my house. These guys are huge, like almost 3 feet tall, and they're awesome. They're awesome. But honestly, I don't. Yeah, it's really hard to find space for them because they're so huge. But I really like him. He's really cool. Scorponok is one of my favorite characters. But that opens the door to a repaint, very rare repaint of him. That was unique to the Japanese market, which is called Black Zarek, and it's a black and gold scorpion, and he's extremely rare. Plus, he was made of a plastic that becomes brittle with time. So the few ones that remains are extremely fragile. So he's one of the most costly Transformers. So I was, I'm looking at this and knowing the market, it would be stupid not to release a Black Zarek version of this mold. I mean, I'm sure that they will do it. People will eat it up. And honestly, I am extremely tempted if that happens, because I always thought that deco is so beautiful. I do have a original Scorponok, so having another one, no, it's not really necessary. Although I would love to, but I don't think I will. I skipped on Omega Supreme, even though I don't own him. I don't own any Omega Supreme, and it was so tempting when I saw him in the store. But as I said, those Titans, man, they do take a lot of space. So I don't know. So here I gone and talk about Transformer for 20 minutes. I really like that. Yeah, so that's one of the reason I've been looking at what I'm gonna do after this comic. It's not gonna be for years, but this is a good thing if you're starting out in comics, doing these kind of thing, long run project, you need to think about what's gonna be the next thing, always. So this comic is completely scripted. I all the scripts, although it's very possible they might change, but for the most part, the story is very much settled. So since that's the case, I'm probably gonna start working on the story for the next big thing I make, which won't be for years and years. But yeah, as I'm saying, it's better to these things take time. So I've been starting taking notes and making a little bit of the little drawings here and there, and just trying to figure out the characters. And why I'm saying that is that actually I want to incorporate some kind of robotic life form in my next comic. So I am I'm thinking about it, what I'm gonna do. I took a lot of notes, and yeah, so just a little hint of where I'm going to after that. The tales themselves won't be done for another, let's say, a good 6 years, I would say. So that will give me enough time to finish that script, at least the first couple of books. And I'm not sure about the format. It might be I might try to do something that I've been thinking of doing, something that is kind of episodic, like a sitcom or a kid show, where there's no there might be an overarching arc. I'm not sure, but I want to focus more on each story, so that they're pretty much contained. So there might be something that affects the arc, but in general it would be a self-contained, like, a little story. And I want to make it kind of like a kid show, and my idea is that it could, you could have a toy line with it, although I'm not planning to make a toy line. It would be a bit crazy unless I can get some partners for that, but I don't, this is just I don't really think it's gonna happen, but I like the idea of making it in a way that it would be great to have toys with it. And I was thinking that even if there's no actual like toy series or anything, I could do a few customs. So yeah, I'm looking at something between Mask and Transformers, something like that, where you had human drivers, and then they become they kind of merge in with their robot and become something else, something like that. A little bit like the Power Master thing I was telling you earlier. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But I want some relationship between the pilot and the robot. And as I said, you won't see anything of this for another 5-6 years at least. I'm gonna draw a little hat on him. Okay, so a little trick here is using masks. So I do like to draw a lot of a background behind the characters, because if I change my mind, then it's easy to you know, to move them around without needing to patch stuff. It is a little bit more work. It's probably not very efficient. That's how I work. See, it's fairly straightforward to just erase the background afterwards. So. Got to draw some hair here. And their head. Now the floor. So the floor, I told you before, I kept the perspective grid here. So what I'm gonna do is just take a light blue like this. Just kind of just trace some lines. I'm gonna take a dark blue and then I'm gonna lighten it afterwards. So basically, I just put my lines on the floor. In this case, I probably don't want to do it like that. I'm gonna do it like this. Why? Why I'm doing it like this? Because I want the direction of the eye to go towards this this panel here. This panel here, the lady on the right. If I put my lines like this, the action will kind of go up, which doesn't make sense to me. And it's too repetitive with the one on top. So, yeah. So I think it makes sense to put the lines this way. Oh, put them on top of this. Okay, next. And here you go. One more panel to done. There's some little details left to do, like some little detail on the costume of Che, but it's basically, yeah. So that's another one done. This one took me probably 2 hours something to do. I think it goes just to show you that it's not something that comic is a thing that takes a lot of time, and you need to take the time to do it. I'm sure some people are a lot faster than me. But you know what? I am pretty satisfied with how this panel turned out. I think it's a good looking little panel. I hope you've enjoyed this little show. Again, my name is Emmanuel, and I would love to hear from you. So please like, please subscribe, please comment, and you can go read all the previous chapters of this comic on my website, and the link is in the description. So with that, I will say I will wish you a great remaining of weekend and a great week, and I hope to see you next Saturday. Goodbye.